Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be breaking down Deluge, but I value your time, so let's just jump straight into it. So, we have this beginning section. It has a pad and a fading in guitar. This pad is actually Noir, this piano plugin, but it has this particle engine on it, which essentially like arpeggiates it, is the best way I can put it. Because it normally sounds like this, right? Chords. But then turning it on, it sounds like that. Oh, sorry, this. So I added just a couple effects on it, you know. We have Soothe 2. The best way I can explain this is it ate every single like non-resonant frequency and then boosted only the resonant frequencies, so you only get those, and that's how you get this sound. You can't really hear it too well though. Anyways, I added reverb on it. I added a EQ, cutting lows and boosting it. Another reverb, fresh air for mid and high end, and 3 EQs that could have most definitely been done with like 1 or 2. This one takes out slight high end, this one takes out resonant frequencies and cuts lows, and then this one just boosts the volume again because it was still too quiet. Alright, let's move on to the guitar. It sounds like this. So, the guitar itself is the Odin 3. It's not a free plugin. Neither is Noir. I'm sorry. I'm pay to win. It normally sounds like this, but I put it on the rhythm preset. And some things that I did is really just these key switches, which make it sound like muted. And for the effects on it, it has an OTT, compression, cut lows with EQ, fresh air for... Alright. Fresh air for mid and high end, and a wave shaper. Do I think I'm a comedian or something, bro? Like... Alright. But that's what the beginning part is. So let's move on to the next section. The next section has a couple elements we need to break down. It has a new pad, a Reese, drum kit, a kick layered for the drum kit, sidechain, hi-hats, and also these like transitions, I suppose. We can go over these first. All 3 of these are raw, like none of them have anything on them. And it's just to help like smooth things out. Reverse crash, crash, and then a down sweep. Alright, going back up here. This hi-hat is also raw. There's nothing on it. That's just how it sounds. We have this pad, which is the Labs Choir free plugin. It normally sounds like this, but I put a EQ on it, cutting the low end, a reverb with the dry knob turned down a little bit so you can wash the... It just makes for a more washout sound. And then fresh air for mid and high end. By the way, if you haven't noticed, you're gonna be hearing cut lows, reverb, and fresh air for mid and high end a lot in this video, because it's like a low-key the method. Anyways, moving down, we have this respace. I don't exactly know how to explain it. It's not too complicated. I mean, it has noise, and instead of a saw wave, it has whatever this is. It was just some preset. I cut those, cut highs this time on this wavetable and and the noise. I distorted it, I compressed it, and I put reverb on it. For the track itself, it has an EQ that's just cutting high end. It normally sounds like this without this EQ. So it's just making it essentially a sub bass, I guess. Not necessarily, but yeah. We have this drum kit. And it's session kit, studio drummer. Regrettably not free though. It normally sounds like this, but I have a wave shaper on it, and an OTT that cuts out the low end, and then another EQ that cuts low end, except this one isn't actually noticeable, so I don't really know what the purpose of this one is. And then since I cut low end, which was mainly to eat the kick, we also have this like kick to replace the one in the drum kit. And we also have a bass sidechain here that affects the Reese. It only affects the Reese though, it doesn't affect the guitar. Anyways, that's all for this section. So we can move on to the next. Is there anything? Yep, no, we can move on to the next section. So we still have the pads from before. We have this guitar now. It's the same guitar, sorry, not this guitar. It's just 4 on the floor, and it has the muted key switch. I don't really know how I thought of it. It kind of just popped in my head. We also have this string, a violin. The source is Bohemian Violin. It's not a free plugin, I'm sorry. It has an EQ cutting lows and cutting resonant frequencies as well. Specifically low end resonant frequencies, by the way, because these ones are pretty ugly, I can't lie. And it's also layered with this lead. So I did not make this lead. I got the preset from God knows where, and thus therefore I actually cannot explain anything that's going on here. Or well, I mean I could, but like I'd be LARPing. Here are the effects that are on it as well. And it has a EQ cutting lows and shimmer, aka reverb. So that's what these two things are. In the second half, there's also a piano layered on top of these melodies. This piano is noir. It normally sounds like this. But I put a OTT on it, reverb, fresh air for mid and high end, a down sample. I didn't have to use Serum effects for this, but I did. And then a delay. We have another like transition material, a reversal chord, which is literally just a chord played in noir, and then I consoled it or bounced it out and then reversed it like that. The thing, let's see, it has convolver, cut lows, compress, OTT for that. And we also have this percussion loop. This is just how it sounds. And then with that, we can move on to the first drop. So I'm realizing I forgot to explain the drum roll. I don't think I need to explain it, but just in case. So, I mean, it just has a snare hitting, but slowly ascending using the velocity knob. Not knob, setting. Whatever you want to call it, dude. Anyways, moving on. We have this fill leading us into the drop. It normally sounds like this. I cut lows and added delay. We have a secondary Reese here. I also did not make this preset, so I can't really explain it, otherwise I'd be LARPing. So this is what it looks like, and here are the effects on it. I don't think it has anything, yeah. This is just how it sounds. And I layered it on top of this Reese, plus the guitar. Now, we have the super break. So, the break normally sounds like this. And I put it in Slice X, and then I just went crazy with it. Like, I don't really have a, like, tutorial on how I did this. The choppiness is important, though. Like, the difference between these two things is a lot. so that definitely helped. But I think what tied this together was definitely the effects. We have an OTT, wave shaper, disperser, which is what gave it is lasery sound. This is free in patcher, and then fresh air from mid and high end. And then the kick is layered with this kick up here, which is actually a different kick from this one. It also has sidechain on every single kick. That's sidechain to the pad and bass. This one goes like 50 to 100. This one goes to 0 and to 100. As for why, I didn't want it to be too punchy, I suppose, and this was just the nice balance that I could find. But that's all for this section, so we can move on to... Is it? Oh, I'm LARP, I lie. So, we have the saw pad, which is literally just a saw wave, I can't lie. The saw itself has a EQ cutting lows, big chunky reverb, shimmer, and then fresh air for mid and high end. We also have the drum kit, and it goes like solely hi-hats. That was just to fill frequency range. Okay, now we can move on to the next section. So there's a bit to cover here. First off, there's a lot of hi-hats now. We have the perk loop from before, goated hi-hats from before. We have this new loop. Normally sounds like this. So I compress the shit out of it and then cut those using an EQ. And then with this one, normally it sounds like this. I distorted it, compressed with OTT, delay, and then cut lows. Then we also have this Amen. It normally sounds like this. And the effects I actually have on it is disperser, low end cut, and then compression. In the second half, we have this new Amen that I actually really like. It's like very aggressive, I gotta say. It normally sounds like this. The effects I have on it is cut lows, distort, compression, disperser, and delay. Again, I don't really know how to explain how I came up with this rhythm. I really think you just gotta experiment, but something that definitely does help is like this choppiness. But also, if I go into like a new channel right now, I like base everything off certain rhythms, right? Like you have the... But you also have like, for example, the standard drum and bass one, where this is hi-hats, so you can do like this. And then for choppiness, you can cut this in half. Like that, you know? But then you also like want like the... So, I don't really know how to describe it any better than that. But if that helped, then good. If not, feel free to ask down below. We have the kick layered on top of all of this happening. It switches from like Jersey to more drum and bass / breakcore, as you can hear. This is Jersey. It's just played at 208 BPM. Like if I toned it down to like, I don't know, 130. Well, if it was Jersey, I probably would have done it like this. But anyways, that's besides the point. We also have a bass and pad sidechain, but you know. We also have a reverse kick leading into this. It just helps. All the transitions really help it hit a lot harder. And the drum is the same as before on terms of like hi-hats, but it's also layering with the kick. And in the second half, I added this thing so it cuts the open hi-hat like halfway through. So that added for a different thing. And we also have this beloved ARP. So the way this ARP was made, it's the same lead as before, you know, the one that I don't know how to explain because it's a preset. And the thing it has on it is it has an EQ that cuts lows and majority of high, so it gives it this sound. Then we have a delay. Another EQ to boost high end. I don't know what the point of this was, but I guess I was like ahead of my time because it worked out. It cut resonance frequencies, and then we have this for a low pass. But I don't actually think I use it at all in this track, so I don't know what the point of it was. Anyways, that's all for this part. The melody changes here on the ARP. We have reversal chords, and generally just a lot of like transition effects to help, you know? These are important. They don't, it just doesn't hit as hard without these transition things. Oh, also notably, right here, we have a tape stop, which cuts literally everything. This tape stop is linked to the drum bus, which I linked just about every drum thing to the drum bus, so it cuts every drum. As I said, okay. Forget it. I use Kilohertz tape stop for it. It's kind of awkward to use though. You gotta like press this button, and then you gotta go here, last tweak to create automation clip. I don't know why it's like that though. It's kind of annoying. Anyways, we have a reverse kick leading into it as well, which leads into like the small details for punchiness and blah blah blah. But that's it for this part. There's nothing really to explain in this entire section. I can't lie. Every single element here has been covered. So the percussions and like all the down sweeps and whatnot. I suppose the only thing that I should really cover is the drum roll, but even this is the same as before. The only difference is it goes for longer this time, and it also like speeds up. You can kind of see, I don't know why it's glitching out like that. Oh, wait. Oh wait, okay. Alright, we can move into the next drop. We have this lead. This lead is just a sine wave. Oh, with whatever this is. And it normally sounds like that, but I put about 4 billion effects on it. We have kilohertz distortion, free plugin, overdrive. I'm just gonna prematurely. IOTT, reverb, with the dry knob turned down quite a bit, another reverb, and then we cut lows using EQ. We can push this back up. But that's pretty much all there is for this section, because this section is a low-key just the first drop copy and pasted. I switched up the drums a little bit. I made it more aggressive. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it before, but I did use note panning and pitch bends, which add a lot, I'd say. I usually pan the things like when I'm repeating a note. Like for example, you can see here on this double kick, it pans a little bit left and right. Right here, a little bit left and right. On this snare roll, you can't really do back and forth, so I just panned it one direction. You get the general gist. And then with the fine pitch or the pitch bends, I usually aimed for snares because in Amen, I feel like that's what matters most. Anyways, that's all for this part. Now, the juice. Alright, so we have the vox, I suppose. It sounds like this normally without any effects. And let's go through the effects. We have a wave shaper that distorts it a lot. I'm gonna prematurely turn down this volume. We have another distortion. And then OTT, compression, chunky reverb, and then cut lows. The vocals themselves are synth V My 2 with these settings. It has unison, powerful, and emotion. As for the melody, I copy and pasted the melody, but at some point they diverge and then become like harmonies. I don't really have any tips for how I actually wrote this melody though. The one tip I suppose I could provide here is using ha instead of like ah, added for like a nice like, I don't know how to put it. Like, these are softer. And then this one has like, I don't know what the word for it is. You either get what I'm trying to say or not. But, alright, okay, well, there's also obviously the like, oh, I need to turn this off now. Oh, I could turn this back up. So, this kick, oh, right, I need to turn off the effects. You may recognize this kick. Maybe? I don't actually know how noticeable it is. But this is the artificial heart kick, and I will go over how I made it real quick. So I have an example here. That's generally what it sounds like, but the way I made it is I find a frequency that I want to boost, and then I make like a sharp EQ, surgical EQ, and boost that one frequency, which is going to be your base frequency, by the way. You can also boost like some really high frequency if you want like a, how do I put it? Like that tonal, I don't know how to put it, bro. Anyways, I did it again. I boosted the frequency twice. I don't know why it looks like this, bro. I'm so sorry. And then I distort it, compress it, raise the bass all the way up, and then fresh air for mid-end. I don't know what the point of 2% high end is, bro. This is what it sounds like in every phase of it. That's a bass kick. That's after one bass. That's after two bass. Distort, OTT, and then fresh air. And then, so that's what the bass kick for this is. It's just at a different pitch. I put it on stretch mode so I could formant gain it. This was a happy experiment, like happy accident that just happened to go well. By the way, kick 2 is also the same thing. It's just using a different kick, as you can see. This one's, it doesn't actually tell you what kick it is, but yeah. Alright, so for the effects on the kicks themselves, because they normally sound like this, right? Which is okay, but I wanted it to be like just moderately more aggressive. So we have a EQ that boosts like tonal frequencies, as I was talking about before, for that punch. So it sounds like this after that. And then because 3 distortions wasn't enough, I added 2 more. Oh, there's also been an OTT on this. Whoops. Disperser. Oh wait, no, I don't think I added the disperser. But this is proof of like experimentation. You kind of just gotta like throw random crap, you know? And then we have the OTT. And then that's how we got this kick. I EQ'd it to there. I EQ'd it here, made it go uppy, cut the bass, and then faded it back in. We also have all these fills. And this reverse kick. I don't think this is noticeable in all the noise, I can't lie. But all this is just to help transition it. We also have reverse chord, reverse crash, down sweep, and then the art chord crash. Below the kick though, we have these hi-hats. We have the Amen that I like from before, but it's going like crazy here. A lot of pitch bend, a lot of panning. I don't really know how to describe how I made this either. Like, I made the kick rhythm first, and then I revolved this Amen around it. Because you can hear at certain points when the kick goes into a burst, like the snare sneaks up with the burst. As for how I made the kick rhythm itself, well, I mean, it was really experimentation, but looking at it right now, I can see like the basis for it is like this. So boom, 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 boom. And then I just added these kick stutters in the empty space. As for this, I started no, even this you can tell. So you have the kick here, and then this burst was to fill this space. This burst was, or this kick was to fill this space. And then normally by rhythm, it would also have a kick here. So that's what this was replaced by. If that explanation made sense, awesome. If not, just go crazy, you know? But that's pretty much it for this, I think. I don't think there's anything necessarily new. Okay, no, there is new stuff. I just covered it, bro. But, yeah. Halfway through, we have this nice tape stop. I cut all the bass here, and then stutter kick into the tape stop. That cuts everything. We have a reverse kick here, and then the bass cuts back in here. And then in the second half, we have two new elements. We have this hi-hat. I think I covered these hi-hats before. Yeah, I did. As for the scream, it was just something I found on Splice. It normally sounds like this. And I distorted it slightly, reverb, and then cut lows. The scream has a pitch automation on it, which gradually like raises the pitch of it slightly. And then the volume, because as it goes higher pitch, you can hear it less for some reason. I don't quite understand it, but yeah. The point of the scream was to, I guess, add like a static layer for the second half because it's more intensive. Speaking of which, in the second half, the kick bursts become a lot more like... I mean, you know? But, yeah. Anyways, moving on. So we have a Vox hit right here. I don't know what they're called, honestly, but we have something right here. Normally it sounds like that. Distort, cut high end, cut low end, convolver, and then delay. Very nice. And we have 4 lead layers. This is the same piano as before, it's just layered an octave. This is the same violin as before. This is new. This is Hold to Fly, the preset that Digital uses a lot for Nullscape. I think Digital said he got it as a preset, so he can't really explain it, nor can I really explain it. Or without LARPing. Shimmer, cut lows. This is what it looks like. Woohoo. And then we have the Calamity or Toho sound font bell down here. This doesn't have any effects on it, that's just how it sounds. And this is mostly used as like a tonal layer, because you can tell it's there, but it's also not the leading thing. We also have the distorted lead from before, playing a different melody this time. Halfway through, the ARP kicks back in. We also have the drums still going crazy. And then we have the big, like, punchy kick. Again, same principle as this, you know? It has sidechain here, though. And that definitely adds to the punchiness. We have some hi-hats. But that's pretty much it for this part. Nice tape stop with the reverse kick and the fill. By the way, I don't think I actually covered these fills properly, but there's not really many effects on them. They're kind of just goated fills in themselves. Like this has a low cut. Where is it? Oh, yeah, it has low cut and delay. This one also has low cut and delay. You can see for like all the oh, okay, that feels kind of crazy. We can go visit this one right here. Oh, you can hear the. So for this fill, we have slight distortion. Oh, well, this is what it sounds like normally. Slight distortion, cut lows, serum effects, more distortion, a flanger, flanger, whatever you want to call it, phaser. So it has like a panning effect, I guess. I don't actually know what these do. They just like sounded funny, so I added them. Cut lows again, because a lot of distortion makes like yucky frequencies that'll add up over time. OTT, and then a delay. I genuinely used this fill twice. I did not have to do all of this, bro. But I pretty much think that's it. If we look at the settings, it took 20 hours to make this. I high-key finished the like main idea in like 8 hours, I think, but then I was a perfectionist for about 12. But hey, being a perfectionist for 12 worked, because like this section was just this Jersey thing for all 16 bars instead of switching between Jersey and breakcore. I thought that was boring, and I don't think this section initially had vocals, so yeah, that was nice. Anyways, that will be all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask below. And with that, I hope you have a day of elevated quality. Goodbye.